This is something I would have never pictured myself doing. I'll be perfectly honest with all of you. This is the most nervous I've been in my whole life. Some of you might be confused because you know that theater is a passion of mine. I get up in front of an audience all the time. True, but on stage I have the chance to be someone who isn't Allison Rhodes. Playing a role in front of a large audience is far easier than standing up here and being myself, because being me isn't something I've always been proud of. Well, I'm up here now, and I can't exactly just get down without embarrassing myself, so if you'd all please listen, as if you had the choice, I'd like to take the time to tell you exactly how I got to New Hope Academy, and how I got to this point right now, standing in front of all of you wonderful people. School was never exactly a positive experience for me. I never felt comfortable, and I was always dreaming of a million different places I would rather be. What I remember most from elementary school, besides my first niece being born, was my mother being told that it would be best if I didn't return to school the next day. That was essentially their way of kicking me out nicely. I lost my place. I can't tell you exactly what I did that particular day to make them kick me out. I do remember being very upset and then getting in trouble for leaving class without permission, and then getting all the more upset and walking out to the playground in the rain to hide, physically running away from the problem. Like I said, I don't remember what it was that got me so upset in the first place. I hardly ever do. I was a walking time bomb, a constant roller coaster of emotions, and I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder when I was 9 years old. After being asked to leave my school, it was pretty much just 2 months of me sitting around in my pajamas watching TV while my parents were trying to get me into private school. It would have been an awesome time, no school and pretty much the whole house to myself, but I was over-medicated and out of it most of the time. I didn't know what was going on with my body, and I had been seeing so many different therapists. Simply put, it was not a party. 2 months is a long time, long enough to develop some pretty bad habits, including not going to school. Eventually, I got into this private school, and I went grudgingly. It helped me with some of my problems, but I just didn't fit in with the rest of the kids. I went there for almost 3 years and only made one good friend, who I don't even talk to anymore. It did help, though, and eventually I was allowed back into my school district for 6th grade. The first year back was tough. But I got through it, and I entered middle school, where I met up with some kids who I went to elementary school with before I left. There were lots of rumors going around me, but I didn't pay much attention. I met some of my best friends in 7th and 8th grade, and I got really into reading. Those 2 years were the best I had in the public school system, despite my attendance issues. I started freshman year out strong, but as the year went on, my depression kicked in, and my thyroid was out of control. I always felt sick, depressed, and so tired. I couldn't wake up in the mornings or make it through the day. The pattern began. I'd miss school because I was either too sick or tired, and then I'd come back and be so overwhelmed with all the work I missed that I would avoid going to class altogether, and the cycle would continue. I finished up the year on homebound. Summer came and my depression lifted, and my thyroid levels kind of went back to normal. The year started off great. I was happy and I was planning to go to England with my choir. The depression returned, as did my attendance issues, and bullies became an issue as well. I would look for any excuse not to go to class. I didn't know what I did to make these girls dislike me so much. I was a mess. The district used the words emotionally disturbed. I didn't even realize how bad I was. I thought nothing was wrong. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous that I had to spend 15 days in the hospital because my mother thought I was too impulsive. I didn't call my family the first 3 days I was in the hospital. I was so angry at my mother for the longest time, but I forgave her in the end. Thank you, Mom. I love you. She's crying. After leaving the hospital, for some reason, we all thought it would be a great idea for me to return to my old school. I lasted for about 2 weeks. This was when I realized they didn't care. They didn't care that I would rather drop out than step foot in their building again, and they didn't care that I was so close to just giving up on everything. I finished the year with 2 credits missing. We decided to try summer school at New Hope Academy. I made up my full English credit and music credit in just a couple of weeks, though I can't exactly say I went willingly. There were days when I wouldn't get out of the car. I'm sure some of you remember that. My mom was really interested in having me go to New Hope Academy as a full-time student, and she and both my teachers kept pushing it on me, but I really wasn't interested. Dave Boyd and Eric Jaber gave me the chance to perform at Summerfest 2009, and that was the first time that I felt I would really love to go to school here. That was the day I met some of you in this room for the first time, and you made me feel so welcome. You accepted me after only knowing me for about 5 minutes. So began my fight with my school district to allow me to attend New Hope Academy. I can't say I was a perfect student right away, not that I'm implying I'm one now either. There were still days when I was too anxious to get out of the car like I was at South, but at New Hope Academy, they don't let you sit in the car all day, and they don't let your mother drive away. They come and get you because they care. I was really quiet the first few weeks. I was not in New Hope Academy to make friends. I was going to sit by myself and get my work done without any trouble from anyone else. Things didn't exactly go according to plan. Some of you were just so much fun that I had to talk to you. I wasn't going to do the drama or Winterfest and Springfest, but some of you just wouldn't allow that, and I thank you, because if I hadn't, I would have missed out on some of the best moments of my life. At one point, I was feeling so depressed and overwhelmed with stuff at home that I was going to drop out of last year's musical, Guys and Dolls. But people in the school convinced me not to, because I needed to be part of that production just as much as they needed me. I will always remember my junior year of high school because of New Hope Academy and the new friends I made. This year was particularly hard for me. I was so close to just giving up because it all just felt so impossible, passing and graduating. Something was getting in the way, and it was me. The whole time, I was in the way of my own success. My fears surrounded me, and just wouldn't let me push past. The only thing I was trying to do was give up, but no one would let me because they cared more about my own future than I did. My fears are still there, but they're smaller. I try not to let them swallow me whole anymore. The biggest fears that I've had my whole life are the fear of growing up and the fear of change. I know it's not an uncommon fear for people my age, but mine was a bit ridiculous. I don't know why, but the idea of not being in high school anymore scared me so much. It seemed like as soon as I would graduate, I would lose something and have to become a totally different person. Nothing will be the same anymore, and I wouldn't succeed at anything. You'll get to see me conquer this fear today. I've changed so much since my first days in New Hope Academy. I believe in myself much more than I used to, and I've learned so much about myself. I really didn't know who I was before I came to NHA. I'm not the kind of person who runs from her problems anymore. I'd like to think that I've matured a little bit, and I'm much more tolerant of others. I've tried so many different things here that I wouldn't have otherwise, like the speech of last year in art. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to have a lead role in the play. I also think my writer's block might be over. This thing is already 5 pages. Double-spaced. This is something I wouldn't have even tried doing when I first came here. I was really nervous about writing this, but I promised Kathy I would try. Kathy has done so much for me and for all of us up here. I really couldn't say no. Because of Kathy, I expect the best for myself because she expects the best from me and from all of us. Without you, Kathy, I would have had no place to go. Thank you for always finding time to talk to me, even if it was only for the littlest bit. You were always willing to listen, and I wouldn't be up here today if it weren't for you. Thank you for your school, and thank you for caring about me. Tiffany, I know you're going to miss me. Thank you for everything, listening to me and trying so hard to help me, while also being completely honest and calling me out on any BS. And for making me do all the things I needed to, but really didn't want to. I really need to thank Julie, and especially Shannon, for helping me with my graduation project. Mary, thank you for always being so understanding, and please know how happy I am that I got to be in your class for the end of the year. I really missed having you as my teacher. Thank you to the music department, where I always felt most at home, and to the art department for helping me find a new way to express myself. A thank you to all my teachers. You've all had a large impact on my life in some way or another. Thank you for being patient, understanding, and for taking the time to show that you care. Lastly, I'd like to thank all of you, the class of 2011. We have all accomplished so much in our time at New Hope Academy, together and individually. Whether we talked often or hardly at all, please know that having you in my life has shaped who I am as a person. And I'm glad to be part of such a wonderful group of young adults. Even if we hardly knew each other, right now as fellow graduates, we are all part of a significant moment in each other's lives. We will remember it forever. We'll remember each other forever. Thank you.